What's up, everybody? It's your boy Wings of Redemption, and I want to talk about the first time I've ever masturbated. But it kind of has a little bit of a lead-up story to it, so you're going to go ahead and sit with me and bear with me. The gameplay is Twit, the African genius, and he's playing on the PC here. So just go ahead and enjoy the gameplay and listen to the story. When I was like 12 or 13, I was a little hustler. When I mean a little hustler, I would do different things. I had just got a Carolina Panthers hat for my birthday. Carolina Panthers had just came out, and everybody wanted a hat. It was a white Carolina Panthers hat, and a boy down the street wanted my Carolina Panthers hat. So I'm like, look here, you got that new Street Fighter 2 game. I'll trade you this $15 hat for that $40 game. So we ended up trading and get Street Fighter 2. So after we got Street Fighter 2, we played it for a while. I'm like, man, I don't really like Street Fighter 2. It just wasn't my game. So what we ended up doing is we traded another boy. Another boy's like, yeah, I really want that Street Fighter 2 game. I'm like, well, what do you got to trade? He's like, well, I got a Playboy. It wasn't a Playboy. It was a Penthouse. It was a Penthouse. I forget which issue the Penthouse was, but it was a Penthouse. It was, and he brought it over. We traded in the Penthouse for the Street Fighter game, which is even a worse deal on us, but we got it for basically free, so it was just a little thing of bartering. So, dollar value didn't really mean much. So we got the Penthouse, and I'm like, this is great. We have a Penthouse now. Now we have to hide it because we didn't want our parents to figure out that we had a Penthouse. So we ended up hiding it in, I think we had a little bin that we would hide it in, and sometimes we'd hide it in between the mattresses. There would be different areas that we'd hide our Penthouse. I actually forgot where that Penthouse even went to be perfectly honest. That's how long ago this story was. And well, basically, I was sitting on the bed one day, and I was looking at the Penthouse, and all of a sudden, something started to, just pop. It was like, oh, what is it? What is it? What is this? And I'm like, it almost felt like a pee hard. Sometimes when you wake up in the mornings and your bladder's so full that your penis would get hard when you were a kid. It's kind of like what it felt like. It's like, man, how'd I get a pee hard like this? I mean, keep in mind, this was before the internet. The internet was just getting in at this point, and we didn't really have a whole lot of access to it because we didn't really get the latest and greatest. It was a couple years later before we got the internet, so we didn't really know about the pornography on the internet. So Penthouses was the only way to get to it. So we go, oh. So I've heard about touching yourself to make yourself get off at this point. So I was all touching it and rubbing it and touching it and rubbing it, looking at the pictures, and all of a sudden, I had this horrible sensation that I had to go pee. I'm like, oh my god, I gotta go pee. So I put the magazine up real quick and I run to the bathroom. I'm standing in front of the toilet. You know what standing in front of the toilet with when your penis is on a full time hard is hard to do. So you gotta kind of push the head down to try to aim at the toilet. And I'm trying to do that motion to go pee and nothing happens. I'm like, why don't I gotta pee? I mean, what was wrong? And I'm like, oh man. So I'm like, I give up, and so I go back and I start doing it again, and I'm sitting there working it, caressing the head, shit, and and I start to feel that pee sensation again, and I'm like, maybe this is part of the process. So I took a chance. I was laying on the bed at this point, so I took a chance, and I was like, I just kept going. I'm like, all right, I'm either going to pee this bed, or I'm going to get off. Well, I didn't use the term get off, or I was going to do what happens, or something, what happens when guys masturbate. And lo and behold, I ended up getting off, and I ended up climaxing, and it was that instant, the hair tingling feeling. And it was like, oh, wow, that's what they're talking about. And, I come from a deep Southern Baptist religion, so, they tell you, don't do it, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. So, obviously, that everybody was thinking you had limited quantities, and if it was in limited quantities, I had used it up in the first 2 weeks of my discovery of that Penthouse magazine. And over the years, I think I kept that Penthouse for 5 or 6 years, and I never really bought another one. So It was like concrete jerking material, and I think I ended up reading every article in that motherfucker. I remember it had Ralph Nader in it, like, if you can kind of date it. But that game was by Twit, and that's the first time I ever masturbated. It's your boy Wings of Redemption. I'm Audi 5000. If you could, please just leave this video a like and check out Twit. He's an amazing guy. Peace.